Along came love.
It looks like Luciana is sticking her nose into things that are none of her business.
This isn't the right time.
He was always after me and everything was just going great. Until Marta got in the way, just as she did with your father.
If there's anything that concerns my children, you have to tell me about it. Do you understand?
Excuse me for interfering, but if Luciana didn't...
But still, she doesn't have any right to keep from me anything that has to do with my children.
Yes, but...
I don't even want to think about how much trouble she's in.
Luciana, the fact that I can't be with you doesn't mean that I can just forget everything I feel for you.
Are you alright, Madam Lillian? Is anything wrong?
It's nothing you can fix. Nobody has the cure for love problems.
Along Came Love, in association with Blue Band Peanut Butter.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola, taste the simple joys.
Breastfeed your baby exclusively for the first 6 months of life. It helps them grow healthy and strong and protects them from infections and illnesses. Mothers with suspected or confirmed COVID-19 should be encouraged to initiate or continue to breastfeed while adhering to COVID-19 infection prevention and control measures to avert contact transmission of the virus to their infants and young children. Breast milk remains the best food and improves the baby's immunity. Breastfeeding is a foundation for a child's future health. Mothers who breastfeed reduce their risk of developing breast and ovarian cancers.
Karatina University wishes to announce to all new and continuing students that lectures of the first semester of the 2020-2021 academic year are ongoing. New students' university joining instructions and details on creation of e-learning account for all students are on the university website. Payment of requisite fees is a requirement.
The super efficient Jiko Koa requires half the charcoal of other Jikos, so you use less fuel and receive immediate savings. Enjoy our special offer now and save 1,000 Kenya shillings with every purchase. Jiko Koa, Kenya's #1 saving Jiko.
Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon. Hope you're having a good Sunday so far. My name is Mark Masai. Let's have a look at how the news is shaping up at this hour. And in Kisumu, ODM leader Raila Odinga is meeting party delegates from there, specifically the Kisumu Central constituency. He's currently speaking. Let's listen in.
Unity, peace and liberty, plenty be found within our borders. In the Bible, a country where the plenty is found is called which country? Canaan. Isn't it? That is the Canaan we are talking about. That we can call Canaan. By realizing the dreams of the founding fathers of our nation. And that's why we said it can be done. And I told Uhuru, let us forget about what has happened. Yaliyopita sinduele. Naganga yaliyomo ni yajayo. So I told him, you stand that side, and I stand this side. And we shake hands so that we can be able to realize the Kenyan dream. And we say that Kenya is much more than just hustler nation. You know, the founding father of this nation, Jomo Kenyatta, was a son of a peasant. Himself was a peasant. He was actually a meter reader in Nairobi, running with a bicycle, reading the meter. And then the city council then would bill people to pay their water bills. But he rose and eventually became the first president, the founding father of our nation. The second president, Nyayo, the traditional boy. If you go to Sacho village in Baringo, it is a very simple village and where people are really very poor. That's where he came from. And he became a primary school teacher. He rose from those humble beginnings and became the second president of this country. Mwai Kibaki, another son of a poor peasant. Kibaki had actually dropped from school for 1 year for lack of school fees. He's a son of a poor person. But he rose up and became the third president. He studied a lot hard, went to Makerere, got a first-class degree, and went to London School of Economics, and came back and became the third president. So hii mambo ya kusema ati sisi hasla.
Unfortunately, that signal isn't quite keeping clear with us. It's hustling to give us a clear signal, but as soon as it's back, I hope my director will indicate so we can get back to that. The narrative of whether or not the current leaders are hustlers or they come from a difficult background is still ongoing. We're hoping to hear, and we will see if he will address the issue of the referendum cost, which he is on record saying that it would be at a figure of about 2 billion shillings. The IEBC has disputed that, saying the least that they would foresee that costing is 10 billion shillings. I don't know if the signal is back up or it's hustling to do so. Oko Kusa is our man on the ground. He'll give us a bit more details on this. Raila Odinga is in Kisumu Central constituency meeting delegates there, and they have been talking on the recent political happenings. If and when that signal gets back, we'll be there in Kisumu to let you in on that. Let's go to Mombasa, and detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations have arrested a suspect and recovered a car that was used during a theft in Nyali. Boris Mutua Malai was apprehended at his home in Kiembeni, where a Toyota Ractis bearing registration number KCX726Q was recovered following credible information from the members of the public. The operation was led by the Mombasa County Criminal Investigation Officer. The motor vehicle was captured on camera on the 17th of September this year at a crime scene at Texas Building near Cinemax within Nyali, where a car was broken into and valuables stolen from it. The search for Mutua's accomplices is ongoing. 10 million shillings worth of assorted ivory has been nabbed and a suspect arrested in Kajiado following a tip-off that saw police detectives and Kenya Wildlife Service officers collaborating to recover the illegal goods. The products, estimated to weigh 10 kilograms, were recovered from a suspect who was using a motorcycle to deliver the products to a buyer in Kajiado town. The products included an assortment of necklaces, bangles, and sculptures made from elephant ivory. The KWS says there is an active black market involving elephant trophies in the town. Millions worth of elephant trophies have also been nabbed in Kajiado County over the past 3 weeks. Kajiado County Criminal Investigative Officer Isaac Meme says that detectives are moving in to arrest 2 notorious civil servants that they say are believed to be the masterminds of elephant poaching in the area as well as black market trade. Last weekend, 2 suspected poachers, were nabbed by detectives in possession of ivory valued at $500,000 shillings at Kitengela town as police officers intercepted more than 300 kilograms of wild meat in a separate incident in Nkorika Mashuru sub-county.
Ameweza kutuambia ya kwamba yeye ametumwa na anatumwa na watu ambao wako Nairobi na wao wakimtuma yeye analeta tu na anakutana na mteja yake ambaye anapeleka hizi vitu nchi za China, anapeleka Bangkok na Vietnam.
Sisi kama KWS tumeweka mkakati tukasaidiana na Friends Forces, tunaendelea wale watu ambaye anafikiria anakuja kuuza pembe na sisi tunangangana usiku na mchana atulali, basi hiyo ni bahati yao mbaya.
To administrative concerns at the county level, Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki has termed the corruption charges facing him as a personal challenge that will not hinder service delivery to the residents of the county. Njuki says despite being barred from the county offices, he has put measures to ensure continuity of service delivery as per his mandate as the county boss.
When Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki was in Chuka town to attend a prayer function organized by the clergy in connection to corruption charges facing him, his supporters turned up in the streets demanding he addresses them. This was seen as a political move to show he was still in charge of the county, days after word went around that his deputy Francis Kagwima, with the help of his political opponents in the county, had planned a takeover as acting governor until the case Njuki faces in court is heard and determined. During the meeting that brought together clergy from 15 wards in the county, Governor Njuki maintained his resolve to work and fight off his battle in court, saying he will triumph.
I have a case, and I want to treat it as a personal challenge. Tharaka Nithi is not on trial. Muthomi Njuki is on trial. So I don't want in one time our people to feel that there's a disadvantage because Njuki is on trial, because Tharaka Nithi is intact.
Njuki was charged alongside 14 others for irregular procurement of an incinerator at the cost of 34 million shillings and thus was barred from accessing office until the case was heard and determined. A week ago, the county executive committee members, while addressing the media, resolved to only take orders from the governor after his deputy claimed to be in charge.
I know there will be battles in this county. I am not talking about politics of 2022. I am talking about delivering services in the 2 years. I have therefore told my workers that when the rest of the country is going home, kwa sababu county zinafunga, Tharaka Nithi County remains wide open because there are no reason to go home because they have been paid their salaries.
Of late, counties have become the latest target in the war on graft in the country. Vincent Odur, NTV.
Addressing the same issue, Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka has maintained that governors must be held accountable over the loss of monies in their counties. Kalonzo says such leaders should not be allowed to play victims when confronted by anti-graft agencies. At the same time, the former vice president insists he is still the Ukambani kingpin, despite his opponents claiming that he has lost grip on the region.
We created 47 counties. Now we have manufactured 47 billionaires with all their people. They always say 3 governors wanapinga Kalonzo. Those 3 governors have a county-wide mandate, but I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about my country. Majority leader, I want to thank all of you guys. Now, your governor wants me to meet with George Dotto and yourselves. I'm ready for it. But that should also involve the man who has brought the money. Hey, the man who has brought the money, we all sit there. And the lady who is trying to teach our women good manners, Irene Kasalo. All of you get into the party.
Just earlier, we had a story from Kajiado of ivory that was intercepted, well, to another illegal form of trade. Kenya Coast Guard in Budalangi, Busia County, has destroyed illegal fishing gear worth 2 million shillings at Marenga Beach in Port Victoria. The team led by Commander Jotham Odera destroyed the gear that was seized between the 8th and the 27th of July this year. Odera says the move is meant to ensure safe fishing in Lake Victoria, pointing out that some fishermen do not adhere to rules and regulations while carrying out fishing. He also urged his team to ensure all the fishing gear allowed in the water must meet the conditions laid down by the Fisheries Department of Kenya. Fisheries Department Officer Robert Wanyama outlined some of the rules that should be strictly followed by fishermen.
Tungependa ujumbe iende huko nje, wanunue neti nzuri na wapoe samaki penye inatakikana. Wasikuje mahali penye samaki inataka mayai au penye inalindwa. Na wasishike watoto wa samaki, na wakifanya uvuvi mzuri hawatashika mtoto wa samaki na huduma itaendelea vizuri.
Fishing using illegal gears, which can be categorized as follows: undersized nets. These are nets that are less than the required mesh size, and mainly if they are gill nets, these are nets that are less than 5 inches.
Chief Justice David Maraga has shot down a request by Isiolo Senator Fatuma Dulo for the judiciary to consider lowering the bar for the upcoming appointment of judges to serve in the Kadhi's court. Speaking during the official opening of a modern court complex in Isiolo, Senator Dulo appealed to the Judicial Service Commission and the Chief Justice, who heads the judiciary arm of government, to consider lowering the academic requirement for one to qualify for the position of a Kadhi's court judge from a degree to a diploma. CJ Maraga, however, ruled out any possibility that the requirements could be reviewed downwards to suit the needs of a particular region. Maraga noted that the country has many Muslims who qualify for the position, hence the request was not tenable.
As far as Kadhis are concerned, normally Isiolo is not considered. Tunakuomba tafadhali. I know there is a recruitment coming soon, and we have a bit of challenges as far as degree level is concerned. Some of the people who have experience in that area, they have diplomas. If you can slightly, especially for this area, to bring it lower to a diploma level, I hope Commissioner is listening. If you can bring that a bit lower, especially for Northern Kenya and Upper Eastern, we'll really appreciate.
Senator, umezungumzia habari ya recruitment of Kadhis. I'm sorry, we will not lower the bar because tukifanya hivyo itaanza kila sehemu itasema sasa hata sisi mlifanyia Isiolo, mlifanyia Waislamu hivi, tufanye hivi. No.
From suggestions of lowering the bar for the recruitment of for the Kadhi's courts to upping the standards for schools ahead of the reopening. Over 10 schools in Kibwezi, Makueni County have undergone a facelift in the last 3 months in preparation for the reopening of schools. The Kibwezi Empowerment Foundation has undertaken construction in these schools to help them comply with social distancing rule by expanding existing structures. Speaking during a handover of a girls' dormitory for Kibwezi Township Primary School, the group's patronage under Wakili Mutuse said that this will help decongest the boarding wing. Parents at the school also say that the project had stalled before the foundation offered to help the school with the renovations. This comes as the Ministry of Education urges teachers to make schools more habitable ahead of the reopening.
Tumeshukuru sana kwa dormitory, manake watoto wengi tutaleta boarding waache kutangatanga mitaani. Manake watoto wengi wakitoka shule inakuwa company zinawaharibu. So tumefurahi sana, watoto tutawaleta boarding watakuwa wako chini ya shule.
Vile wananchi wamesema sio ya mtu mmoja. Haiwezi kuachiwa serikali, haiwezi kuachiwa walimu, haiwezi kuachiwa wazazi peke yao. Lazima sisi wote tushikane ndio tuweze kusaidia nchi yetu leo na kesho kutwa.
As we would fondly say in primary school, it's break time. NTV at One will be back shortly.
Let's go Kenya.
I'm Jambo of Kenya. This is Najib Balala, Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Kenya. Join me in watching the London Marathon live on NTV on Sunday, 4th October 2020. Hashtag Let's Go Kenya. Hashtag Magical Kenya.
What comes to mind when you hear Man of Steel? What does it take to be a man of steel? This week on Property Focus, the most successful industrialist in East Africa, Dr. Narendra Raval, takes us through his journey of success, a project review that used steel to be a fortress, and insights of this building material.
I would like to see that all Kenyans have got the roof above the head, and that is only possible when we make everything in Kenya.
Catch the show this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. only on NTV.
Property Focus in association with Devkey Steel Mills.
Look for the Devkey mark on a widest selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devkey Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
Dr. Rabbit, is that you?
Yes, it is!
Wow!
I see you're all ready for bed.
I'm supposed to brush my teeth.
That's right! You're really becoming a brushing pro.
Thanks. I have a good teacher.
Welcome back. A family in Umoja is seeking your assistance to find their missing family member, 26-year-old Emmanuel Opodo, who the family says was mentally challenged, was last seen at midnight on the 3rd of September 2020 in Umoja. He was last seen in a black t-shirt, black pants, both with luminous green stripes, and anyone that may have information on his whereabouts has been urged to call the number 0723-833-471.
Takuwa anamjua hata akimuona ako na shida, anakuanga na hii shida ya kuanguka, saa zingine hata anakuwa kama mwendazimu, hayuko normal. Hasa nilikuwa naomba yeyote atakaye muona apige namba 0723-833-471.
Let's lift your spirits now. Last month, NTV aired the story of Pastor Steve, who has been feeding over 1,000 children in Matopeni slums. Now, most of the children come from very poor families, and the man of the cloth has been giving them food on a daily basis. Well-wishers reached out to Pastor Steve and donated foodstuffs. Rose Wangoi was back there to follow up.
When schools were closed in March 2020 following confirmation of the first COVID-19 case in the country, many children in Matopeni slums Kayole Estate were left wondering where they would get their daily meals. The children, a majority of them from low-income families, were heavily relying on their daily school meals to survive, as most of them are not assured of a meal at home. Pastor Steve Mbogwa started an initiative where he would feed at least 400 children every Saturday, but that number increased drastically to over 1,000 as days went by. The children arrive at the center as early as 5 a.m. lining up waiting to be served.
Hakuna mtoto anakuja na package yake peke yake, wanakuja na package 3, 4, kwa hivyo wanabebea hata wadogo wao, wanabebea hata wale walioacha nyumbani kwa sababu hawana kitu cha kukula.
Since his case came to light, Pastor Steve has received an outpouring of support from well-wishers. And today he received more donations from well-wishers who visited his church in Matopeni and donated foodstuffs.
I'm here on behalf of Felista and a team from the UK who donated to Pastor Steve after watching on a coverage that was done by NTV. So we've come with a small donation on their behalf. The greatest thing was the appreciation that there's somebody who is out here doing something for the community and not for his own sake, for the sake of making a better future for the youth.
Pastor Mbogwa said he hopes many volunteers could come forward to support his initiative to sustain the growing number of needy children. Rosongoi, NTV.
Whatever you give is...
Well, thanks to Rosie, or Ankim as we fondly call it in the newsroom, for sharing that story, and to Pastor Steve for consistently helping the needy and for those who have responded. And I'm sure they're still open for more help to whoever has that ability. To an issue of insecurity, thickets along the Mwea-Embu highway have become a prime hiding spot for criminals who are taking advantage of those plying the route. A sick woman, case in point, who lacked a means of transport and decided to walk along the highway to get to the father's dispensary, is among those who have been attacked. It is reported that she was pulled into the thicket, raped, and left for dead by 3 unknown men. Excuse me. Residents say that it has become very difficult for them to operate along the route after 6 p.m. They add that the gangs operate on foot and boda-bodas. Despite numerous patrols being made by police in the area, it has become difficult for them to deal with the issue since the criminals are hiding in the bushes. They are now asking the Kenya National Highways Authority and Kazi Mtaani Environmental Program to clear the bushes to hinder the criminals from having a hiding spot.
Zinafanyika ni sababu mandrivers hawaoni mbele, so akitokea anapata gari ingine inafanya overtaking, hawezi ona ile gari iko kule mbele yake. Kwa hivyo hii barabara sasa imekuwa ni kama msitu. Ile sasa huwezi ona mbele ama huwezi ona kitu inaendelea.
Kwa sababu there is an opportunity, kwa hii kichaka wanajificha hapa, na kwa hivyo ni rahisi sana kushika mwanamke au kushika mtoto wampeleke kwa hii bushes. So tumeadhirika sana.
One of the country's oldest betting firms, the Kenya Charity Sweepstakes, has embarked on a series of charity activities in the slums with the aim of fulfilling its corporate social responsibility, while at the same time helping families in the slums deal with the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic. The organization donated foodstuff and other non-perishable food items to families whose breadwinners were affected by the effects of the coronavirus pandemic in Korogosho slums. The organization also gave the community chances to join its workforce. On the continent, and Guinea began to distribute more than 5 million voter cards ahead of the October 18th presidential election, in which incumbent Alpha Condé is running for a controversial third term. The green cards, which are to be available until the day of the election, are printed with the elector's name and address, also bearing a photo and a QR code. Voters must go to centers where the documents are available, such as the Kolomo district of Conakry, where a small group of mostly maskless men waited. More than 5.4 million voters are registered to choose among 12 candidates, notably incumbent Alpha Condé. A movement opposing his bid for a third term said that it would stage a new round of protests from late September. Deadly clashes erupted in the West African state last October, claiming several dozen lives over Conde's plans. The United States President Donald Trump says next Supreme Court justice will be a woman at a campaign rally, and that the nominee would be a woman that is very talented and brilliant. His comments come soon after the death of the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader.
U.S. President Donald Trump vowed on Saturday to quickly nominate a successor, likely a woman, to replace late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Ginsburg, only a day after the death of the liberal stalwart.
We haven't chosen yet, but we have numerous women on the list. I built this incredible list of brilliant people, and we're asking for Biden's list. He can't give it. You know why? Because if he ever gave a list, he'd either put somebody in the left middle, which would be okay, you could get votes, or he'd put somebody, which is what he's going to choose, so far left. Now, if he did the left middle, he loses his entire left coast, right? And if he loses the left coast, that's the end of his election.
The president's desire to move quickly on the process, despite Democrats' vehement opposition, is likely to dominate the campaigns, alongside other hot-button issues like the coronavirus and America's ongoing racial reckoning. This ahead of the November 3rd presidential election. 87-year-old Ginsburg, immensely popular among Democrats, died on Friday after a long battle with cancer, prompting an outpouring of national grief. Ginsburg's death, coming just weeks after the election, offers Republicans a chance to lock in a decades-long conservative majority on the court, where justices are appointed for life. The stakes are high, as the decision could affect such life and death issues as abortion, healthcare, gun control, and gay rights. They are pushed even higher in a bitter election year when the justices can play a decisive role in legal wrangling over a contested result, such as when they ruled in George W. Bush's favor to end the 2000 election debacle. Ginsburg was one of only 3 women on the 9-person bench, but with 45 days to go before the election and some early voting already begun in some states, galvanized Democrats are pushing back furiously. Biden said on Friday that voters should pick the president and the president should pick the justice for the Senate to consider. Analysts predicted Democrats would do their best to drag out the process while fanning public outrage. Some Democrats have mussed that if Biden is elected and Democrats control both houses of Congress, they might expand the court from 9 seats to 11, allowing the new president to appoint 2 more liberal justices.
The proprietors of nightclubs in London are a worried lot, given that their businesses have not been categorized as some of those to be opened soon, despite enduring months of closure. While pubs have reopened under certain conditions, nightclubs and concert halls remain mostly closed. There is no reopening date in sight, a situation which has put the whole industry in jitters. The latest development around COVID-19 have dashed glimmers of hope for the nightlife industry in the UK.
I haven't been able to go into the studios because they were all shut down, but I've been broadcasting from home, so either doing live broadcast or pre-recording the shows and then sending them through. And that's been nice actually, because it just makes you feel like you're still in touch with, you know, the musical energy.
I think we're in a real critical time after 6 months of total closure. I think actually we're fighting for our survival. We have remodelled and remodelled and remodelled when we might be able to open. It doesn't seem like there is an end date or an opening date, and the time is passing where, you know, our survivability of this is getting to a critical point.
Some sports now. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta praised his side's mental strength after Eddie Nketiah's late winner against West Ham maintained their 100% start to the season. The result condemned the Hammers to a second successive defeat, the 3rd time in the past 4 seasons they have lost their first 2 matches.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
South Africa's health system relapses to critical condition. But is COVID-19 to blame for this? Or did it just expose an already crippled system? We tell you about a natural bond used to save lives of newborn babies in Ivory Coast. Healthcare workers on the front line of COVID-19, how are they taking care of their mental health? And we meet a Nigerian DJ who wants an end to loud music. We'll tell you why.
An obligation. Make sure that there is safety of the students when we are looking for a bus.
That is why we are using the high tensile steel from Doshi.
Jijenge na Doshi Steel, chuma ya nguvu.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers zimetengenezwa mahususi kusaidia udongo na mimea. Zimetengenezwa kwa taaluma ya hali ya juu ya kisayansi. Zaidi ya wakulima 500,000 nchini wanaweza kupata mbolea hizi kwa bei nafuu. Zinapatikana katika maduka ya kuuza pembejeo kwa viwango vya kilo 1 hadi kilo 50. Wakulima ambao wametumia mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers wamepata ongezeko la mazao yao kwa 30%. Wasiliana nasi leo kwa simu ili kujua mengi kuhusu namna mbolea za mavuno zinavyosaidia kuongeza uzalishaji chakula nchini.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola. Taste the simple joys.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant. Tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Devki Steel Mills have provided quality building material with the widest range of associated steel products over the last 3 decades. Look for the Devki mark on a widest selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devki Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
Epilepsy is a condition that most people would rather not have a conversation about, but the truth of the matter is, with 77 people diagnosed with the condition out of 100,000 people in Kenya, I think it's time to pay attention.
We found that most of the epilepsy was beginning in childhood. Birth injury and those infections that touch on the brain cause some localized damage or diffuse damage leading to epilepsy.
Did you know there's a laundry bar soap that can help save you time, water, and money? You save by not having to use multiple products. And you only rinse once. For a laundry soap that can help save you time, water, and money, try Whitewash Extra. Brand power, helping you buy better.
NTV, turning on your world.
The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Hello, Butita, and hello, Cindy. How are you guys?
Hey, Amina. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. How are the both of you?
I'm fine. Niko sawa.
Uh-huh.
No changes.
What do you mean no changes?
I've not had a
Butita,
weight. I've not
it's good
lost
to
weight.
see you. There are changes. Follow Butita on Instagram to find out.
Oh,
Thank
what's
you.
happening on Instagram, Butita? Just tell us.
I don't know. I haven't been online, but my admin has been online for 1 week.
Wow.
So,
Give us that good tip.
I don't know. Kitu
Who are you on
imepostiwa.
Instagram with?
Okay. Let me try to remember.
Huh? Okay, but Cindy.
It wasn't me.
Cindy, how are you?
I'm good, Amina. It's so good to see you. Good to be back. I had missed all of you.
Oh, we
I
had
was
missed
meant
you
to.
too.
A bit of a disclaimer. I wanted to wear a T-shirt. I had asked somebody to print a T-shirt today written, "I love Anita Ndweru." She's being trolled a lot today. I just want to tell Anita so much love from the TTT family. The
Yes.
T-shirt wasn't ready on time.
Yes.
So just wanted to give that shout out to my girl Anita.
Oh, shout out to Anita, man. You know, Anita is the Kanye West of my life. We're so close, but I find out on Twitter sometimes, I'm like, babes. But you know what? It's true, man. Sending love from the TTT squad. Now, Cindy, right before we even start, there's a challenge you've been doing, and it goes to help cancer patients. If you could just tell us a bit about it.
Fantastic. It's called the 545 challenge. So what the challenge does is it gets you out of your comfort zone, out of your seat in the house, and you get fit for a good cause. So we've got a lot of people who are always on Instagram, social media, who are sweating and posting all their body fluids all over the place. But how about you do that for a good cause? Do it for cancer. Cancer patients are still being diagnosed and still need support despite the COVID pandemic. So with the 545 challenge, yes, work out, do Zumba, dance, any physical activity, take a picture, tag it on Facebook, and donate 500 to Faraja Cancer Support Trust. Pay bill number 509700, a minimum of 500, maximum of whatever you want. Any amount goes a long way to support children and adults with cancer in Kenya.
All right. Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you so much. For more, follow her at Cindy Ogana. Now, as we get started, this first story, I am not sure if it's the case of your neighbor having drinks na mayengs and then you're in your house with low Wi-Fi connection. You just decide, I'm going to storm their house, spoil their party. Now, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, has launched investigations into an incident where one of their employees is said to have stormed a private house party, assaulted the host and her guests while hurling racial insults. Philip van der Graaf, who is the organization's regional procurement and supply chain specialist, was filmed hurling racially charged comments at partygoers at an apartment in Nairobi. In case you didn't watch it, just take a look.
Who is the person? Who is the person? Who is the, no, you don't have to be here now. Like this. Who is Airbnb? Who is taking this house?
Hello.
You are?
Hello.
Okay, hello.
I mean, I don't understand. Why was it any of his business? Why did he need to go to their house? Why couldn't he, I don't know. I mean, formal complaints could be, Butita, kazi wa kubash.
Kwanza sisi mtaa yetu kukiwa na bash, tunaijoin, hatuendi kuizima. Tunaijoin. Unajua kuna zile mtaa unaandikaga notice, unapatiana 21 days notice.
Yeah, that's true.
Ati utakuwa na birthday ya dogi, utakuwa na
Lazima
birthday ya
uandike
mtoto.
email,
WhatsApp group uombe ruhusa.
Yes.
Yaani kuna protocol.
Yes.
Si WhatsApp group yetu ni kesi. Yaani tumezoea hata mtu anaweza siaga na kwa nyumba yake na mtu asimnyamazishe. So I think kama walikuwa wamesema watakuwa na bash nini waka notify my neighbor na bado umse akacrash hapo akazushia then wrong. Kama hawaku notify neighbors, hao ndio wako wrong. Yeah.
All right. Now, Cindy, a lot of people argued that he wasn't being racist because he didn't say anything racist in the video. However, we do need to understand that racism is not just when somebody calls you the N-word, right? What are your thoughts?
Racism is exercising white privilege in the sense that you believe because you're from a certain race or social standing, you have the right to interrupt a party based on your own personal beliefs. He believed it was their bedtime, so he felt he had the right to infringe, go into somebody's property, tell them to end a party, and on top of it, hurl insults at them. Maybe he's talked to watchmen like that, security guards, and he's gotten away with it because of the color of his skin.
Very true.
Yes. Maybe he has, you know, demanded something from an organization and he's been treated in a certain way. So he has this mentality that he has the right of way, he has the right of speech, and that is horrible because this is our land and country. And it's even worse because he works for an organization that does fantastic things with children. And for him to represent them in this way is really deplorable.
It really
I
is.
applaud the organizers of that event for not fighting back. However, Butita can attest, kama ingekuwa mtaani.
Ndio hivyo, unajua kuna difference ya party na bash. Now that was a party.
Cindy anaka ange.
In fact, hata mimi before I say za kuuliza, what is the right way kusimamisha party?
Hakuna right. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, there are a lot of other things. Even they would have known if maybe they were out of order, but still, there's a way that you still have to come and communicate.
Ukijaribu kusimamisha bash ya gengeton.
Ati?
Bashi ya gengeton ukijaribu mchezo kaa hiyo. Wewe kama mtu na ambulance inakurudisha. Ati wamesema mzime hiyo muziki.
No, but you know, Cindy, I don't know if we've ever touched on it on the show or off air because we also talk a lot on and off air, and I'm not sure we've ever talked about this. But I feel so bad that when you're trying to get an apartment, there's some places in 2020, in this Nairobi, you still cannot live in as a black person. We are in freaking Africa. This is Kenya.
Kuna mali hata wameandika.
It's so there are some places where it's demarcated for certain communities, certain religions, certain social status. The thing is, what they're saying is it's a right of admission. Just the same way, not all clubs are for all people. You know, there are some clubs that are members club, you have to sign up. There's some clubs where you have to have a dinner jacket, and there's some clubs when you can walk in. So they're using the same rules to, you know, segregate themselves as a community.
As we move things over to Nigeria, now I'm sure you've heard the phrase, "Hii pandemic ime so tesha watu." If you go and review that phrase, it's just talking about me and Butira. Because people are outside here spending like they don't care. A Nigerian oil magnate Femi Otedola has caused quite a stir on social media after buying 3 Ferraris for his daughters, DJ Kapi, Temi and Tolami. First of all, we have to have DJ Kapi on the trend. She's going to be coming very soon. Now, according to caranddriver.com, a Ferrari Portofino starts from around 23 million Kenya shillings, translating to 69 million for the 3 rides. DJ Kapi was one who shared the pictures of the 3 supercars bearing customized number plates on social media with the caption, "Papa took us shopping and bought 1 of each." Butita na Cindy, nataka tuanze kulisnizi vitu gani hizi tulinunuliwa nao wazazi.
Unajua hii pandemic nimerealize kitu moja. Kuna watu wanakuaga tu sawa. Regardless of what happens in this world. Kuna watu tu funga pesa na belada throughout. As in kuna watu tu wako sawa. Kama unaweza buy kitu kama hiyo saa hii, but I think pia ana prepare madota wake wasitishiwe na watu wengine wa masponyo labda.
But I mean, they're very, very wealthy. I'm so sure this is nothing. But Cindy, I want to hear your thoughts as well.
Masponyo.
So I'm in this group for investments, and there are guys who are selling land. You know, land in Kenya is ridiculous. So the guys who are selling half acres in Karen for 12 million, and somebody saying, "Slide into my DM." And I'm like, slide into your DM, right? Now, in this COVID times, I've discovered, don't say, "I am broke," say, "We are broke." That is why we have a country, I think it's Dominican Republic, that is offering people citizenship to buy shares in some resort somewhere.
Yes, citizenship by investment.
So, granted, Nigeria is an oil, you know, producing country. There is no money like Arab money. When they talk about Arab money,
we're talking oil money, baby. Yes.
They talk about oil money.
There's
no money like oil money.
Cindy, I have a quote for you.
Definitely, he can splash and give his kids.
He can.
There is a famous quote that says,
"Yes, Butita,
things are not overpriced. You are broke."
Wow, that's... Now, I think this technology has been brought by the pandemic is not meant to be used by every sector. Peter Kamau Ngige walked out of Naivasha Maximum Security Prison a free man. During the video conferencing proceedings, a man on robbery charges posed as the illicit alcohol remandee, deceitfully gaining freedom, which was according to a source at the prison department. Now, since Kenya confirmed its first coronavirus case back in March, court users have experienced numerous challenges when applying technology, especially in virtual proceedings.
This is a lesson to the judiciary na nini. Tunafaa kuwa able kufanya vitu kama hizi with or without COVID, because COVID just came to tell us we are not ready for the future.
Oh, is that it?
Oh,
okay. I feel like you were building up.
They're called sentiments.
I know.
I was like, go on, Martin Luther King. I hear you.
When wisdom comes out, people wait for the next sentence. But
okay,
that was enough wisdom for the night.
Thank you very much for that. Cindy, what words of wisdom do you have for us tonight?
Oh my God, if I told you my Zoom experiences.
I know.
From my son being heard in the background to guys standing up to go to the washroom. Kumbe they have not, they've not muted their camera. They are in boxer shorts. You're like, oh my God, technology. I agree with you, Tita. COVID has just shown us how we are just technologically.
I have a question.
However,
yeah, okay, go on.
In this particular story, you know, there's some names, Amina, that if you share, chances are, if you're arrested, you're in trouble. Jen Jerry, for example. Do you know how many Jen Jerrys there are? Peter Kamau, Boniface Wafula, Omondi Otieno.
Even just Amina in
Anthony
my community. Amina Abdi. There's so many.
So many.
But there can only be one Eddie Butita.
For somebody's name to be switched and for them to be convicted for a crime that is not theirs. So that is why I understand. And now we're moving into the generation of Jaden. In a couple of years, 20 years, all criminals. Jaden Wafula was busted.
Oh, okay, because I thought you meant the other Jaden. I was like, I don't know who you think we know on this show. I don't know if our show has lawyers, but carry on. My thing is, what is the most embarrassing thing both of you have done on like a live Zoom meeting? Butita?
Mimi sijaifanya kitu embarrassing, lakini kitu najua mimi ujishuku. Unajua Zoom meeting kuna ile time same mmoja anaongea. Sasa mmefunga mavitu. Alafu shetani tu anakudanganya ufanye kitu kwa nyumba.
Shetani.
Alafu kumbe kuna vile kwanza kuna hizi simu zina hang. Uli mute mic lakini imechora lakini haijaji mute. Ama umemute camera na haijaji. Unajua mimi mpaka nikiwa kwa Zoom meeting kitu ni time niende kwa choo, ninabaki nafunga simu hata na sweater juu. Si trust kabisa. I think hizo meeting zilikuwa zinafaa kunicknameiwa unanisikia? Because
I think
people spend a lot of time.
Yeah,
Cindy, unanisikia?
Okay, Cindy, go first. Butita, okay, Amina, because it takes time, right? Man, the worst thing is when you don't know someone is on a Zoom meeting and you walk in the room, which happened with me, and I was in a towel. It was just a shower keep. It was life. It's okay. It happens.
Another question. Is your house Zoomable? Can you have a Zoom meeting anywhere?
You can.
Hey, unajua kama kwako mtu anaweza pita nyuma ukifanya Zoom meeting, unaishi vizuri Amina.
Butita, what?
Kwangu nikikaa hivi niweke kitu hapa mbele. The only place unaweza pita ni hapo. Sasa kazu meeting kamgongo kanabi.
Yote. Oh my gosh, I can't believe
I think that's why it's called Zoom, because people get the opportunity to zoom vitu hapa ndani.
Wanaziona. I've seen a lot of interesting things that have happened.
They're like, oh, okay, I can see where you live. Oh, you have a kitchenette. Oh, you must live in this side of town. Zoom is very embarrassing, by the way.
Actually, I can see, yeah.
I've ever been spotted. Oh, so Cindy, what are your thoughts? That time you've muted, you are off camera, you are on Netflix, you know, and Cindy, what are your... You have not had anything. You're not even there. You're in the loop.
That happened to me too.
But welcome to the future.
It was a 3-hour meeting, and then I was like, let me just take a nap for like 10 minutes, and then I was just like, guy, meeting, because they were like, Amina. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't think they were going to ask me anything. It wasn't my meeting. So I was just like, I can't hear you clearly, because I didn't know what to say. It was so embarrassing. But now, as we start off with this story, Uganda's military and security forces are pursuing a group of 210 inmates who escaped in a massive jailbreak and stripped half naked to avoid being identified as prisoners. I guess they will now stop showing action movies during entertainment hours and introduce, I don't know, maybe soaps, because I don't know, but then soaps don't have nice endings in prison either way. But I'm going to start, Cindy, let me start with you. They were half naked, they were 200 of them. That's a huge number.
Well, that's a huge number of naked people in the wilderness. You know, apparently the prison clothes in Nigeria are yellow so that they can be easily spotted. I agree. Dump the clothes, go in the wild, be one with nature. bond with the earth.
Are you giving guys
nobody's
tips?
Gonna spot you guys will just probably think you're a mogoroki. Very clever thinking. But I'm just thinking, you're minding your own business, you're crossing the road, and then you see 200 naked people crossing the road. What do you do?
Run.
What do you do, Amina?
You run. Are you joking? Even
say-
when I see close to 200 people, I still want to be like, what's going on? I want to run.
They say fake it till you make it. So I think this is the first world beast migration in Uganda. At least unaimagine kuna watu walikuwa mali kwa hiyo wilderness, alafu mnaona watu wanatokea hivyo. Unajua kwanza hawa ni watu kweli?
That's true.
Because wako dead. Look at those snakes that are here. What's wrong?
Why?
Well, there are people with snakes.
You wouldn't think that like they're night runners or something. You wouldn't think.
Watu sombili uchi.
By the way,
I think there's a way too
you're
many
in
people.
certain parts of the country, guys are like, oh yeah, no, that family are going out for a walk because they're night runners. So guys are like, oh yeah, ndio kina nani. By the way, kuna deni yangu, the guy is like, sure.
Unajua polisi ukitoroka wanatafutanga hiyo nguo umevaa hapo town. Wanaiangalia. So hii pia ilikuwa tricky sana. Kama wanatafuta watu kila mahali, itakuwa ngumu kuwapata. Jua wanatafuta msi yako uchi. So unapata wapi? Mnangoja niongee tena?
You guys just like, you sound like you have more to say. And then also, because apparently, you know, you've just announced that today's your last day, we just want to give you more time because you always argue that we don't give you more time, especially when it's myself, Cindy, and
You've
Anita.
been giving me time. I mean, I'll miss you people. You've been good. Like, imagine Fridays without you. Like, how will life be? But it's okay. Ni life.
Imagine Friday without you, Butita. Now I'll be the only one who's being roasted for my skin color. You are my dark-skinned buddy.
What are you talking about? I'm always roasted.
Me,
all the time. What?
Me, whenever someone calls me black, I'm happy because I appreciate we still don't have enough creative people to create new things. They are still at black. So at least I see hakuna competition kwa industry ya creatives.
Watu bado wako na the same lame jokes.
Industry bado tumeshikilia. TTT as a show will be memorable. And when I write a book, it has a special chapter in it. Yeah. You people will feature there. Anita will, you people.
Why? It's okay. Anita will feature there. Anita will feature. Kuna vitu nataka kusema lakini it's okay. So ebu fungulia Anita roho sahi. Hata haimata anymore, but ebu fungue roho.
Bye.
Oh, bye. Okay. You don't want to say anything to Cindy? You've worked with her 5 years. You have nothing to say?
Oh, Cindy.
I know, we have to find
Cindy,
the
you've been
original
close.
crew. Now I'm the only one left. I'm thinking, gosh, this is the show who's refused to leave the government job.
Cindy, don't leave.
In the middle of a pandemic. Cindy.
But Tita, let me just say lots of love to you. I love that every time we did the show, you were always so welcoming. I love that you were the only one who used to call me Mama Arthur, Paul, and Thomas. You remembered all my kids' names. You were always just so welcoming. I love that you are always a phone call away. You're just a fantastic human being. It breaks my heart. But I know good things are coming for you. And all the best to you and Mamito.
Mamito leaving the trend.
Anyway, congratulations to Mamito. Maybe we should get Mamito now that, you know, because of HR policies, she can come when you leave.
Wish her birthday.
But anyway,
wish her birthday on air.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. I could have read very many messages that people have sent, Butita. I feel really, really bad. You know, when I joined the trend, so many people were very offensive in a lot of the things that they said, and you're one of the nice guys, you and Cindy and Anita, and I will always appreciate that. I mean, tunapigananga simu kila sana, so it's okay. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Amina Abdullah, Cindy and Butita. Can't believe I'm saying Butita for the last time, but catch you at 10 p.m. Goodbye, Butita.
Say my name.
All the best.
Life Molfix. Let's see what they're developing right now.
Pants is just for me. It really feels very comfy.
Molfix pants with anatomic fit technology. New Molfix pants, an invention from babies for babies.
You should also try Molfix.
Top dressing tips. Top dressing is the application of fertilizers to boost harvest in growth period. Ensure the soil is moist, and in warm weather, ensure you mulch to avoid evaporation.
More than 500,000 farmers in Kenya can have easy access at affordable packs of 1 kg to 50 kg across major agro-dealers. Farmers who have used Mavuno fertilizers have realized 30% more yield. Please feed your crop and soil with the best fertilizers for future prosperity. Call us today and learn how Mavuno fertilizers is helping in increasing food production in Africa.
In the event that you would like to verify the genuineness of the certificates, what you need to do is to dial *352#.